Alright, I'm back with more Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and before I went into Mount Moon, I saw another coach trainer, and so I decided to battle him. So the first coach trainer, I guess he automatically had a Bulbasaur? I thought he just chose the Pokemon that I chose, that's why it was Bulbasaur versus Bulbasaur, unless he just happened to have a Bulbasaur. But this coach trainer has a Meowth, so I'm fighting it with my Pikachu. Yeah, whatevs. And I have my little hat. I'm still blown away how you can see the fur on Pikachu's back, but I don't think they did that with Eevee. Anyways, so you guys might notice I'm not doing live streams with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I'll probably do it with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but I'm just constructing the strategy guide and I have to test out a lot of stuff, and it's just taking me way too long to go from area to area sometimes. And the quality just isn't as good when it's compared with live stream and recording, plus my bandwidth of the internet. I can't go over 720p 60 frames per second. Maybe I can do 1080p 30 frames per second. But with this, recording directly onto my PC, 1080p 60 frames per second. So yeah, baby, I'm doing it. And then I leveled up. My Pikachu, my Pika leveled up. I tried naming him Frank before. In memory. Well, not memory, but Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito. Because he was supposed to be Detective Pikachu. Whoops, I unmuted it. He was supposed to be Detective Pikachu, not Ryan Reynolds. Although Frank Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds, that's... Oh, TM57 Payday, yeah. So, I didn't even teach it to anybody. Because I'm going back and watching this. I already played this. But, once I get to the Cerulean City Gym, because that's where I stopped. Once I get to the Cerulean City Gym, that's where I'll start commentating live while I'm playing. And of course, the first Pokemon you encounter is a wild Zubat. So yeah, this capture stuff, I don't know, man. The bonus. I really like capturing a ton of Pokemon, that's the way to go. But I'm just used to weakening the Pokemon first with my Pokemon and then capturing it. And, it's upsides, downsides. Some things I like, some things I don't like. But I definitely can say I do not like using the Pokeball Plus as a Joy-Con controller or whatever. It's not good. So anyways, oh yeah, and then Zubat, man. I didn't even mean to say that like that. So Zubat evolves into Golbat, of course, but Golbat evolves into Crobat. Oh, it's Team Rocket. Jesse James. Which are named after famous Western gunslingers, if you didn't know. Yeah, I was. And then the Meowth doesn't talk. That's stupid. They're supposed to have a talking Meowth. Whatever. So anyways, as I was saying, see Zubat right there again. So Golbat evolves into Crobat in second generation and with Friendship, but I don't think they have any of the second generation Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. So does that mean Golbat can't evolve into Crobat? And there's no abilities, no held items. So this is a bare bones game. But, when you add all this stuff, because I've been writing strategy guides for Pokemon games for several years now, and the meta, just the whole gameplay, it's becoming very convoluted, and it's hard for anybody to jump into the series. So this game, it's a little bit more bare bones, it's a lot more easier to understand. But I just don't think I'm going to be writing strategy guides for future Pokemon games, because it's just getting way too confusing, too crazy and stupid. Mega Evolution, Z moves. But then, so with these stats, they're a little bit different from the other Pokemon games. With CP, that was featured in Pokemon Go, but I'm still not too familiar with CP. I know Simply was trying to tell me how CP works in Pokemon, but yeah, they also had different stats in Pokemon Go compared to Pokemon Let's Go. They didn't have HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. I cannot capture this Geodude. Oh my god, come on. So you can feed it berries to make the ring go yellow to green, red to yellow to green or whatever. And then other berries to stop it from moving around so much. But I don't want to waste all my berries. And capturing a Pokemon in TV mode is so much harder compared to handheld mode. Because you have to like whip the controller just right to get the ball towards the Pokemon, in addition to aiming at the Pokemon. But when you're in handheld mode, you just aim at the Pokemon and press A. I don't think it matters how hard you press A. It's not an analog button or whatever, it's just a digital button, on and off. Anyway, finally caught Geodude. Trying to, you know, build up my Pokedex. And there's a big Zubat. I'm just gonna skip through this part. It's huge! Okay, captured the Zubat. And then down there's a potion. Of course. I remember the original to the northwest, there is a Team 12 water gun, I think? Oh, Paris. So yeah, Paris and Parasect, they're weird Pokemon. And I have so much to say. Okay, so Paris, you know, it's this bug grass type Pokemon with mushrooms growing up in it. And then Parasect, the mushrooms kill like the crab bug Pokemon or whatever and take it over, and it's just a zombie. So the mushrooms are controlling the animal. And you know, that's kind of a thing in real life. I think they say the biggest living creature on Earth is just this colony of fungus or whatever, because fungus and stuff is like technically living. You know, all plants are living, but people just don't really count them as living. And they just eat them and tear them apart like nothing. Damn vegetarians and vegans. but seriously, I remember, because when Pokemon the anime was still kind of kicking off in the US, they had like from the first episode to around the episode of when Charmander evolved into Charmeleon with the Execute and Executor episode. And so it just had that first chunk of episodes in the US for what seemed like years, but then again, I was a kid, so it was probably just like a couple months. It was probably just the off season. So when the next season came out, I think the first episode was with Paris and Parasect, and then Meowth wanted to be like this cat. There was like some bestiality angle going on with Meowth and this girl, but then she found a Persian, and then they just used Persian, of course. Meowth got screwed over. But anyways, there's a Paris in there that was so weak, and it couldn't battle, and Pikachu like used this little static charge, and then it knocked Paris out. But yeah, the whole thing was about Paris evolving into Parasect, so they can like use the mushrooms and herbs or something. I don't know, it was weird. But I just remember that episode and then waiting for the next season. But anyways, another trainer battle. We have bug catcher Clark Kent with his level 7 Butterfree. My Pokemon were like super over leveled because, like I said, I was just testing some stuff out for the guide, capturing a ton of Pokemon, and I want to complete the Pokedex, of course. And then so my Pikachu just ended up getting to level 17 or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I could always switch out my party Pokemon and then let all of my Pokemon earn experience, I guess. And I assume this isn't Water Gun. 5 Great Balls. Great Balls Fire. And the next trainer. I don't know, it seems like Mount Moon is a lot smaller compared to the original version. Like, it was huge in size comparison, in scale, or whatever. But Viridian Forest seemed sized up, maybe. Or maybe Viridian Forest, because, you know, the trainer is bigger. So Viridian Forest might just be actual to scale sized up with the trainer. But Mount Moon doesn't look sized up at all. It just looks tiny. Like can see across the cave. And I will be switching out my Pokemon later on, Henry and Elizabeth, because I know I rocked those guys in my Pokemon Red gameplay, and I want to try and use some different Pokemon here and there. But you get it? Henry, Elizabeth, little king, little queen, you get it? And then I named Pikachu after the Pikachu in the manga, Pokemon Adventures, Pokemon Special. They just named him Pika. I love the way Bellsprout moves in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee because it's so zen-like, swaying in the winds, just like Sprout Tower. I think it'd be kind of cool if they like updated Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee like they did with Pokemon Go to add some Pokemon. Yes, I am fast. Well, not that way. Pause. Alright, back down, basement. To the basement. So many Zubat. But then again, capture the Zubat, send him to Professor. Get some quick candies, man. Level up your Pokemon super quick. Quick. It's Clefairy! And it's huge. Super rare Pokemon. Well, it was rare, but it became kind of popular, so they're like, okay, we're not gonna make it that rare. Everybody wants a Clefairy. But it won't stop moving. Well, that's what makes it rare in this game, I guess. It's hard to capture, because it keeps jumping around. And it has a yellow ring. I'm gonna try and catch him with a Premier Ball instead. You know, rare Pokemon and a rare ball. Of course, I can't get it. You have to buy 10 Pokeballs or 10 Great Balls, 10 Ultra Balls, whatever, to get one Premier Ball. And then Clefairy runs away. So the Premier Ball, it's not even... like, it doesn't even have a higher capture rate than the Pokeball. It's just a Pokeball with alternate colors. I think you should be able to buy it, like... I don't know, man. Or maybe give your Pokeballs other designs. They're going too far with all these game mechanics and all these crazy Pokemon when they can just do some small, fine tweaks to make the base game great. I mean, they barely took away HMs, like in Sun and Moon. With right Pokemon, and then they don't have HMs in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, pretty much. You blew it! Alright, what do we got? Oh, Clefairy! A rare candy. Rare and rare. Let's get this Clefairy. Henry is evolving. Next step towards Nidoking Henry. Never understood why they kept the nickname during the evolve section or whatever. Well, I guess in case you have multiple Nidorans and they all just happen to evolve. Well, the Henry's evolving. Well, this guy's evolving. I suppose. I don't know. Alright, let's go further into Mount Moon and defeat Team Rocket and all that. I never really understood why they would call the single ones just Rocket in the original. Maybe it's a translation error and they just stuck with it? I don't know. It's like Rocket wants to battle. I must have been busy at the time of recording this because there's like a long pause of, you know, starting the match. But Mankey is like so weird. It's a pig monkey. Well, there's a lot of weird Pokemon with like weird origin stories or biological stories. I just came across Mr. Mime earlier today. But Mankey, man. And then the sound it makes. Just look up some YouTube videos of Mankey in the anime. It's like some old Japanese man. Damn, how farsighted or nearsighted? I can never remember farsighted, nearsighted. He can't see very far. How whatever is he? My friend Amanda was talking about how they updated that Super Nerd sprite. How he has like an iPad or a tablet now. And then he's wearing plaid. Well, I don't know much about fashion. I don't know the plaid situation. Unless, you know, some cholo stuff wearing plaid. And some khakis. I think this was the first time I actually used a Great Ball in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. But again, I just hate... Oh my god. Yeah, right after I threw it, he does that punch, or slap. He does his double slap, his panic attack. I forgot what the hell I was even saying. Whatever. Catching multiple Clefairies. I was talking about aiming at the screen. Oh, I got it in mid-jump. Just TV mode is so much harder to throw a Pokeball compared to handheld mode. Oh, and then it surprised me that Pikachu learned Light Screen super early, level 18. Normally it learns at like level 50. But then Double Kick, you know, that just doesn't seem like a Pikachu type move, so I just got rid of it. And I wanted my Pikachu to specialize in special attacks, not physical attacks. And then there's no Light Ball, man. I was hoping for a Light Ball to boost up my Pikachu's power. Or whatevs. My Henrietta, or Elizabeth, is evolving. It's a Nidorina. And I couldn't find any Moonstones. Usually I would have found multiple Moonstones by now, I think. And I wanted to try lures for the first time, because I already collected 2, but I didn't really know anything about them. And they were kind of the same as, well, they're not really the same as Pokemon Go. They just share the same name, and they're adopted from Pokemon Go. But I think they're more like the opposite of repels. See, there's a repel right there. They work in the same function, but they bring up rare Pokemon like that. Chansey. I found a Chansey at Mount Moon. And then it also increases your chances of finding a shiny Pokemon also. But my friend, again, Amanda, when I found this Chansey, she was like, so you mean to tell me that you don't have to go to the Safari Zone and conserve your steps and then finally find a Chansey and not decide whether you want to throw mud at it or rock at it or a Pokeball and some bait. And then if it just decides to run away, you gotta try over again. New players don't have to worry about this, because Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is super player friendly. And when you try and play the original red, blue, green, yellow, it is so hard to deal with. Oh, and then I get a ton of experience points. That's usually how it is with Chansey and what was that other one? Audino? Or Audino? Or whatever? Don't they give you like a ton of HP? Or not HP, experience points? Whatevs. And then my Mew's getting up there. And I was really disappointed with the Mew learn set. Because before, Mew like knew Transform and Mega Punch and stuff. But he's not learning all these attacks. Well, maybe later on, when I get to the higher levels, he'll learn something decent. And then I got Mr. Toad for my Bulbasaur. But I think I want to hold off on evolving my Bulbasaur. And try and teach it some better attacks. And then evolve into Ivysaur. Speaking of Mew, I haven't really used him in battle. Well, then again, there's not really a ton of Pokemon battles in this game, so whatevs. Use Speed Star. So I like how they're including more Jesse and James and Meowth, Team Rocket stuff throughout the game, but I do wish they would add more battles. Like every single town you go into, you would battle them or whatever, because there's not enough battles, and you only like encounter them 2 or 3 times. No, I think 3 times only throughout Pokemon Yellow, and then they're just gone forever. And it's like, what the heck, man? Yeah, there's a secret item right here in the original Pokemon Red and Blue. So I was hoping I can get like a secret ether, but I didn't find anything. That's why I was looking at the rock, in case you were wondering. You know, I always thought Sandshrew was kind of underrated, but maybe maybe I was partially influenced by the anime with that Sandshrew, with that one southern accented trainer, and you know, he was like running that whole gym sort of thing, and they're like, once I get 100 wins, we're gonna go battle some gyms or whatever. Anyways, so maybe it was partly that, but also, you know, he's like a cute little mouse armadillo type thingy. It's a little shrew. So I don't know, but I don't really like Sand Slash. It was almost like a ground type Pikachu to me, almost. But then I don't really like Raichu either. I don't really understand this guy. It says if you have plenty of Pokeballs, or you have plenty of Pokeballs, if you run low, go back and see him. But does he just give you some free Pokeballs or something, or what's the deal with that? And Meowth. I'm still a little annoyed that they don't have him actually speaking. Of course he puts me to sleep. He's drowsy. But then again, you can put a drowsy to sleep since they don't have insomnia anymore. I don't know if I like the idea of getting rid of abilities. But then again, there are a lot of abilities. Well, there are some good abilities and there's some bad abilities. And then Drowsy, he just felt like a tank in the first generation. Drowsy and Hypno. Well, there are a lot fewer Pokemon than you thought. Yeah, there's 151, but there are some evolutionary lines, and then there's some useless Pokemon here and there. Tangela, anyone? But, yeah, man. There's some decent Pokemon, some underrated Pokemon, but then they just got lost in the shuffle when they started adding more and more Pokemon. Alright, it's time to challenge the super nerd and get those fossils. But no secret item? Aw, couldn't get that Clefairy. The super nerd saw me, he's like, nope, you ain't getting that Clefairy. But I think it's awesome that they actually have like the design of the dome fossil and the helix fossil right there. But, wait, super nerd Miguel? It's Hector versus Miguel. Well, you're not supposed to pronounce the H, it's Hector versus Miguel. But I really like... Oh, I forgot to check if I can actually electrocute, or if I can paralyze electric Pokemon. Because you couldn't in the last generation. But then they don't really have abilities. Anyways, back to the fossils. I like the artwork that the fossils have in the real world, out on the fields. Like, you can actually see this one's a dome fossil, this one's a helix fossil. But then when you go into your bag, it still has those really old school, like 3rd gen sprites from like Game Boy Advance or something. And it's like, you know, if they're making this all Nintendo Switch, why don't they do like fully animated sprites or whatever, you know, of all the items, like a legit looking potion. You know, they have them out over on the Pokemart in the shelves, but they don't have them when you're looking in your bag. So it seems like a missed opportunity, I don't know. And then when you're playing the Switch in handheld mode, you can't just tap the pockets or anything in the bag. You still have to use the A button and B button and the D-pad or the joystick. You can't just touch it with the touch screen. But I don't know. I don't know. So this Magnemite is half steel, half electric. Gotta switch out because I only have normal type attacks. But if it was 1st gen, it wouldn't have that steel type. But then 3rd gen, when it was remade Fire Red Leaf Green, they added the steel type, so I was prepared. My double kick, although I just got confused, but whatevs. Nope, it's no good to be greedy. Sharing is caring. So I usually go with the dome fossil, because I just like Kabuto more than Ammonite. My friend chose the helix fossil though. He didn't even grab it. Couldn't add that little animation or something? I mean, come on. It's Team Rocket! So this is the first double battle, or technically a multi-battle of the game. Technically double battle, technically multi-battle, whatevs. But you can see in their Pokeballs, they only have Ekans and Coughing and Ekans. In the yellow version, they actually used Meowth in battle. So I was a little bummed out to see that, you know, you don't fight Meowth. Meowth doesn't talk, and you don't battle him, so what the heck, man. And now for the final hit. And it was a critical hit, so I don't even need to use both of the double kicks. Just one of the double kick. A double kick, a single kick. It was a mega kick. Whatever. Well, I defeated Team Rocket's Jesse and James. But I think I'm gonna end the video right there. Subscribe to my channel for the next part of Let's Go Pikachu, where I continue on to Cerulean City.